Picture this. You walk into your apartment. There are dishes overflowing in the sink, and there is a roommate asleep with her boyfriend on the couch. Your other roommate is at the table and doesn't give you the time of day. The Oreos that you've been looking forward to all day are somehow gone. And your straightener is on even though your hair is curled. And your other roommate is still asleep from the previous night. How do you deal with roommates that are inconsiderate? I think the real question is, how do you deal with roommates that are inconsiderate in a Christ-like manner? I've compiled different annoyances that inconsiderate roommates may do, along with my own personal stories and how to deal with them. One annoyance might be that they're unfriendly. Last semester, I walked into my apartment and was greeted by 3 of my roommates. I could tell that they were in the middle of a conversation and they were laughing and having a good time. The conversation immediately ended as I walked into the room. Of course, being the friendly extrovert that I am, I said, "Hello," and their response back was a blank stare. In all honesty, I tried quite a few different things to get them to engage in conversation with me towards the beginning of the relationship, but eventually I just gave up. Some things you can try are inviting them to do things. Get them involved with things that you do by inviting them to go play laser tag with you and your friends, and maybe they'll accept the invitation and may become friendlier. You can try doing service for them. You can make their bed for them when they've left for the day. You can do their clean checks for them. You can even make them lunch. And this is the one that I unfortunately had to do after all those didn't work, was avoid them. I just would go straight to my room if they were home, and it worked. Unfortunately, that's not how I wanted it to end or work out, but that's what needed to be done. I wish I would have communicated with them, though. I wish I would have let them know that there was a problem or find out if they had a problem with me. So communication is definitely something to help with that. Another problem is lack of cleanliness. My current roommate is a huge clean freak. She does the kitchen every day and the bathroom twice a week. She likes to have a clean house, and her OCD allows her to do so. Yeah, my other roommates are slobs. They don't care what the house looks like and are okay with her doing all the cleaning, even though she's a full-time student, works part-time, and has a boyfriend, which takes up most of her time. How I try to help my current roommate is that I try to clean before she gets home. I do the dishes. I'll make her bed if she had like a really early morning. I try to make it as easy as possible for her. One extreme that I've heard other people do, which I have not tried, is if your roommates don't put their dishes away, some people actually put their dishes on their bed. And this was after, of course, a few warnings and trying to get them to clean. But again, the key is communication. Communicate with your roommates and let them know that having a messy apartment is not okay and that you don't like it. The last annoyance, which is the worst one for me, is eating my food without permission. My first semester of college, I was working part-time and was a full-time student. The only joy I found at the end of the day while doing homework was a piece of toast with some Nutella and jam, my mom's homemade jam. One day I came home from a long day at work and found that half my Nutella was gone. If you're a Nutella connoisseur like myself, you know that Nutella is not cheap. And I was very upset, but I let it go. The next day was different though. I came home and my mom's homemade jam was outside of the fridge and on the counter with butter chunks in it. This is the last straw. I confronted my roommates, demanding to know why and who did this. This was probably not the best approach to how I could have handled it and how I should have handled it. I could have labeled my food and let them know that it was mine rather than theirs, or maybe make an alternative and see if they wanted to share their food with me or pay for it. But again, communication is key. So, if you haven't gotten anything out of this, just know that if you want to deal with annoying roommates in a Christ-like way, to communicate with them with love and humility.